Hi, it's Stephen here from Son of a Nation Wave, and this is day 6 of the July daily draws. So as we close out the week and approach a new week, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Unfolding Path Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. And we'll go there. And we have Temperance. Temperance. So this again is a little bit like keeping the balance flowing, keeping things going in the right flow, keeping the energy moving, but in the right kind of mixing, because usually this is like the mixing of elements together. You don't really have that here. Well, I suppose you do if you count. Yes, you do, because you can see there's like fiery stars going that way, and then you've got the water going that way. Not quite as obvious immediately as in some cards, if we can get the words out. But it is that exchange and blending of energies in the right way to make what we're doing effective, make the energy more powerful, more potent. And it's about how we put the different elements of our nature and our together and use the elements together within us, and also the way we work that in the situations we're involved in order to bring about the best result at the time. It's getting that right balance with all the different elements, and making sure also that we temper them. We temper our nature in such a way. It is linked to me. It is linked a little bit to the strength card. Could be because of the tempering, the controlling, not letting things get too excessive. Because that's what this is. It's when you temper something, it's if you've got that tempered sort of nature, you do things, but not in excess. It's just the right amount. And it doesn't necessarily mean, that if we've got two elements, say, that it's 50-50 to be in balance. Balance suggests equal. People seem to think balance means equal measure, and it can mean equal measure. But it could be that what balances is a 60-40 distribution of the different elements, brings everything into balance within us, and is the most effective combination for us. Now, what's going to be effective and the right proportion for me may not be right for you. You may have to find your own kind of blend of personal characteristics and properties and nature and elements within you that works the best for you. But I would say that this temperance is a bit like keeping things in the right proportion, but also to do that, it means that you don't have too much of one and not enough of the other. So it does deal with the curtailing extremes and keeping things at the right kind of moderate sort of situation. That's the more, that sweet point where everything's working together beautifully. Whereas if you allow one to go too far, um, it will throw things out. It will be too much one way. Um, for instance, if you're thinking of the elements, say, of air and water, or the mind and the emotions, if you put too much emotion into it, you can be impulsive, you can be rash, you can have outbursts in a situation that go beyond rational thinking. Your mind's telling you, if you let your heart rule your head, you can make mistakes because your feelings are pulling you too much in one direction. Yes, you need to be in touch with your feelings, your emotions, um, in order to assess a situation, but you don't let them have more control than they need to have. Um, Ideally, the other way. Um, you can be too rational minded, that you totally shut off the emotional aspect, and you have too much of a cold reaction. It's too it's too removed from how you're connecting to the situation. Yes, it's logical. You may overanalyze. If you bring in the mind too much, you can overanalyze and make it more complicated than it needs to be. And sometimes your gut feeling, the way you're emotionally reacting, can be an indicator as to how you're responding truly to the situation. And your mind is trying to analyze past that. So it can work, it can work to the extreme on that way as well. So it's like, but when your mind, your intellect is working in harmony with your emotions, and those are just the two elements that I'm using as an example. When they're working together in the right way, not too much of emotion, but enough, and just the right amount of rational intellect there, um, then you're more effective in what you're trying to do, and you'll be more effective in the situation that you're facing. So, what this card is telling us to make sure that whatever we're doing, we have this temperance, and we're aware of the different aspects of our inner selves. And when we recognize that one part's getting out of control a bit and we're getting too excessive, we rein it in a bit, and that's where that control comes in. That echoes a little bit of the strength card. Um, and we become aware of that emotionally and in our minds, and the two work together, and we can use that approach to be effective in what we do. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Magical Map Shifter. Well, to me, what this says is that ability again to blend and adjust and change up the energy, to change up the energy into the right proportion for what we're dealing with, and what we want to achieve, so that we can be effective. So it's getting that blend of energy and shifting our energy where necessary in order to be able to be more effective, to be and not excessive in one form or another, but to be just right in dealing with what we need to deal with and being who we need to be. That, I believe, is what these cards are saying. So that's what the watchword we need to be taking on board now, and as we approach the new week. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 7. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye bye.